We all want to live a happy, fulfilling, and meaningful life. But sometimes, without even realizing it, we hold on to things that prevent us from reaching our true potential. These things might be habits, beliefs, relationships, or goals that no longer serve us. They can weigh us down, distract us, or drain us completely. They can keep us stuck in the past or lost in worry about the future. They can rob us of our joy, our peace, and our sense of purpose. The good news is that we have the power to change this. We have the power to quietly remove these things from our lives and make room for what truly matters. We have the power to transform ourselves and create the life we desire. In this video, you will learn 15 things you need to quietly remove from your life and how to do it. Let's begin. Getting caught up in negative thoughts. One of the most harmful things you can do to yourself is to constantly criticize and belittle who you are. Drowning in negative thoughts is a form of mental self-sabotage, one that erodes your self-confidence and your self-worth. It also prevents you from taking positive steps forward and reaching your goals. The truth is, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And you have the power to choose which thoughts you focus on and which ones you simply let pass by. Rather than letting the inner critic run the show, challenge it with rational and compassionate responses. Replace the words, "I can't," with "I can" or "I will." Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I am worthy" or "I am capable." Replace "I'm a failure" with "I am learning" or "I am a fighter." By doing this, you change not only your mindset, you change your reality. You create a positive feedback loop that strengthens your belief in yourself and fuels your motivation. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Toxic relationships. Another thing you need to quietly remove from your life is toxic relationships. These are relationships that drain your energy, make you feel terrible about yourself, and bring out the worst in you. They can be romantic, platonic, familial, or professional. They can be subtle or obvious, but they always have a negative impact on your well-being. The signs of a toxic relationship include a lack of trust, respect, and honesty. Constant criticism, blame, and guilt-tripping, manipulation, control, and jealousy, emotional, verbal, or physical abuse, and a lack of support, empathy, and appreciation. If you notice any of these signs in your relationships, it is time to take action. You deserve to be treated with kindness, dignity, and love. You deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, inspire you, and celebrate you. You deserve to be happy, and sometimes the only way to achieve that is to let go of the people who are not making you happy. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Holding grudges. Holding a grudge is like a poison that seeps into your mind and heart, slowly rotting away your happiness and your peace. It keeps you anchored to the past, forcing you to relive the pain and the anger over and over again. It also blocks your progress and your healing, standing in the way of your growth and your potential. Rather than letting grudges consume you, why not choose to forgive? Forgiveness is not about overlooking or forgetting what was done to you. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying it. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not to the other person. It is a way of saying, "I will not let this define me. I will not let this ruin my future. I will not let this steal my joy." By forgiving, you do not merely free yourself from the weight of pain. you also open the door to healing and reconciliation. You create space for new possibilities and new opportunities. You become a person who can rise above the hurt and truly embrace today. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. People-pleasing. People-pleasing is the act of trying to make everyone happy, often at the expense of your own happiness, your own needs, and your own values. It can be driven by fear, guilt, or a desperate need for approval. Its effects can be deeply damaging. You lose your sense of identity, you compromise your integrity, and you end up resenting the very people you were trying to please. To remove people-pleasing from your life, start by staying true to yourself and your values. Know who you are, what you want, and what you stand for. Do not allow others to dictate your choices, your opinions, or your actions. Do not be afraid to say no, to set boundaries, or to express how you feel. And do not feel guilty for prioritizing your own well-being, happiness, and goals. Instead of trying to please everyone else, try to please yourself. Instead of seeking approval from the outside, seek fulfillment from within. Instead of being a follower, be a leader. When you remove people-pleasing from your life, you will be able to live authentically, confidently, and freely. You will be able to respect yourself and earn the respect of others. And you will attract the right people into your life. Those who love you for who you are, not for what you do for them. As Marcus Aurelius said, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Comparing yourself to others. Do you ever feel like you're running a race that never ends? Have you ever looked at others and wondered why they seem to have everything, while you're still struggling to keep up? Have you ever thought that you're just not good enough, smart enough, or successful enough? If so, you are not alone. Many of us fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, and it can be exhausting, frustrating, and deeply disheartening. It can make us feel as though we are missing the beauty of our own lives, the uniqueness of our own story. But what if we stopped comparing ourselves to others and started celebrating ourselves instead? What if we embraced our flaws, our mistakes, and our achievements, however big or small? What if we recognize that life is not a scripted series where everyone follows the same plot, but a messy, unpredictable, and wonderfully varied adventure where everyone has their own twists and turns? It isn't easy. It takes courage and gratitude. It takes self-acceptance and self-love. But it is worth it, because in doing so, you don't just free yourself from the chains of comparison. You discover the true value of your own journey. You don't just move forward, you rewrite the rules of the game on your own terms. As Epictetus said, control your perceptions, direct your actions properly, willingly accept what is outside your control. Complaining. Complaining is the act of expressing dissatisfaction or discontent about something or someone. It can be useful when it leads to constructive feedback, problem solving, or positive change. But when complaining becomes a habit, a coping mechanism, or a way of avoiding responsibility, it becomes harmful. The negative effects of complaining can include reinforcing a victim mentality, attracting more negativity into your life, and pushing others away. To remove complaining from your life, start by becoming more aware of your thoughts and your words. Pay attention to how often you complain and what triggers it. Is it stress, boredom, frustration, or something else? Then try to replace your complaints with gratitude, solutions, or action. For example, If you're stressed about work, you could express gratitude that you have a job at all. Or you could look for ways to improve your situation. Or you could take steps to reduce your workload. If you're bored with your routine, you could be grateful for the stability you have. Or you could look for ways to add color to your life. Or you could take action and try something new. If you're feeling let down by someone, you could be grateful for their presence in your life. Or you could try to understand them better. Or you could take steps to communicate how you feel. By removing complaining from your life, you can develop a more positive, optimistic, and proactive mindset. You can also attract more positivity, happiness, and success into your world. As Marcus Aurelius said, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Making excuses. Excuses are the reasons or explanations we give to justify our actions or our inactions. They can be useful when they are genuine, valid, or unavoidable. But when they are false, unfounded, or easily avoidable, they become harmful. Hiding behind excuses can prevent us from taking responsibility, learning from our mistakes, and reaching our goals. It can also damage our credibility, our integrity, and our reputation. To remove excuses from your life, start by being honest with yourself and with others. When you make a mistake, fail at something, or miss an opportunity, own it. Don't blame others, circumstances, or chance. Instead, acknowledge your actions or inactions and apologize when necessary. Then try to learn from the experience and improve your performance, your behavior, or your attitude. For example, if you made a mistake at work, you can acknowledge it, apologize, and ask for feedback or guidance. If you failed to keep a promise, you can acknowledge it, apologize, and offer a solution or a way to make it right. If you missed an opportunity, you can acknowledge it, apologize, and look for another chance or an alternative path forward. As Marcus Aurelius said, the first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Staying stuck in the past. Getting stuck in the past is the act of constantly dwelling on or feeling regret about things that have already happened rather than focusing on the present or the future. It can be caused by various factors such as trauma, guilt, or nostalgia, and it can have deeply negative consequences: depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. To overcome this, start by accepting and forgiving yourself and others for what has happened. Acknowledge that you cannot change the past, but you can learn from it and move forward. Rather than replaying the past in your mind, try to reframe it in a more positive or constructive light. For example, if you made a mistake, you can see it as a lesson or an opportunity for growth. If you lost someone, you can see it as a chance to honor their memory and carry their legacy forward. If you missed an opportunity, you can see it as a source of motivation, a catalyst for change. When you remove the habit of getting stuck in the past, you can begin to live in the present and truly savor each moment. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Giving in to anger. Imagine you're in the middle of a heated meeting, your heart pounding with frustration. We've all been there, haven't we? In those moments, the urge to release our anger feels overwhelming. But what if instead we chose to speak softly? What if we could channel that fierce energy not through shouting, but through calm, determined words? This isn't just about saving face in the middle of an argument. This is a journey toward mastering the storms within us. Think of a time when you witnessed someone completely lose their composure. How did it make you feel? Uncomfortable? perhaps even disappointed. Now imagine someone who, despite the chaos around them, remains perfectly calm, their voice a soothing balm in a sea of noise. Isn't that the person we all want to be? It is in these trials, these tests of the soul, that we find our true strength. We can transform anger into action and frustration into focus. This isn't about suppressing your anger. It is about channeling that energy into something that moves you forward, about turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Heraclitus understood something profound when he said, "The greatest virtue is equanimity." It reminds us that our calmness in the eye of the storm is our greatest weapon, and that our balance is the truest form of courage. So the next time waves of emotion begin to remember this: the ability to remain undisturbed, to speak in a whisper when everyone expects you to shout, is not just a virtue, it is a superpower, and it belongs uniquely to you. Gossip. Imagine being in an environment where someone is speaking badly about another person. Wouldn't you wonder what they say about you when you're not around? Spreading negative opinions about others is treacherous ground. It doesn't just damage the reputation of the person being talked about. It damages the credibility of the person doing the talking. It reveals a lack of respect, empathy, and maturity. And it creates a toxic environment where suspicion and hostility replace trust and harmony. Instead of spending your time and energy on gossip, why not focus on improving yourself? Why not try to understand and appreciate the differences and perspectives of others? Why not celebrate their successes and support their growth? Why not be a source of positivity and inspiration rather than negativity and criticism? By doing this, you don't just build your own character. You enrich your relationships. You create a culture of kindness, generosity, and collaboration. You become a leader, a role model, a true friend. As Seneca said, "Finding fault with others is a masquerade used to conceal one's own virtues." Feeling the need to explain yourself. When you've been hurt by someone you once considered a close friend, remember this: you don't owe them a lengthy explanation or a dramatic confrontation. The wisest thing you can do is simply move on with your life. This isn't about settling scores or demanding apologies. It is about protecting your peace. You might find yourself in a situation where that same person comes back and asks for your help. Trust me, all you need is a firm, quiet no. You are not obligated to extend a helping hand to someone who has shaken your trust. The point is this: stepping away from the drama and quietly putting distance between yourself and that person is often the most intelligent decision you can make. Let time reveal the consequences of their actions. Focus on taking care of yourself. Let the future unfold however it will. This is usually the best path forward for both of you. So be clear-eyed about this. You do not have to keep people in your life who disrespect you. Everyone deserves to be appreciated for who they truly are. And walking away from those who fail to do that is in itself a courageous choice. It is about choosing your mental health and your growth over unnecessary drama. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike the one who performed the injustice. Don't stoop to their level. Instead, invest in becoming the very best version of yourself. Cultivate your inner peace and your character. Worrying about the future. Worrying about the future is the act of constantly imagining or fearing what might happen instead of focusing on the present moment or on taking action. It can be triggered by uncertainty, insecurity, or pressure, and it can have serious negative effects. stress, sleeplessness, and a kind of paralysis that stops you from moving forward. To remove worrying about the future from your life, start by accepting the truth. You cannot control or predict the future, but you can prepare for it and influence it. Rather than imagining worst-case scenarios, try to envision the best-case scenarios. Rather than fearing the unknown, try to embrace the possibilities. Rather than stressing over outcomes, try to focus on your actions. For example, if you're anxious about an exam, visualize yourself passing it or finding the right answers. If you're nervous about a job interview, embrace the opportunity and picture yourself showcasing your skills. If you're worried about a decision, focus on its positive aspects or make a plan. By removing the habit of worrying about the future, you can begin to live in the present and savor each moment. You can also take meaningful action toward the future you desire, and you can rest, sleep, and breathe again. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Judging yourself and others. Judging yourself or others is the act of drawing conclusions about yourself or those around you based on surface-level or incomplete information. It can be driven by ego, bias, or insecurity, and its effects can be damaging: low self-esteem, strained relationships, and a closed and narrow worldview. To remove this from your life, start by becoming more aware and more mindful of your thoughts and your words. Notice how often you judge yourself or others, and what triggers that judgment. Is it appearance, behavior, social status? Then try to replace your judgments with curiosity, compassion, or appreciation. For example, if you are judging yourself for how you look, you can choose to be curious about your features, compassionate about your perceived flaws, or appreciative of your uniqueness. If you are judging someone else for their actions, you can become curious about their motivations, compassionate about their struggles, or appreciative of their differences. By removing the habit of judging yourself and others, you can improve your self-esteem, your relationships, and your view of the world. You can also expand your knowledge, your empathy, and your appreciation for diversity. And you can learn to truly respect both yourself and those around you. As Marcus Aurelius said, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most closely resembles the one I am about to criticize? Limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are beliefs you hold about yourself, others, or the world. Beliefs that restrict your potential, your happiness, or your success. They can be formed by various factors: past experiences, outside influences, or unexamined assumptions, and their effects can be deeply harmful: fear, self-doubt, and stagnation. To remove limiting beliefs from your life, start by identifying them and challenging them. Ask yourself, what are the beliefs that are holding me back? Where do they come from? Are they actually true, or are they based on real evidence? And how do they affect me and my life? Then try to replace them with empowering beliefs. For example, if you believe you're not good enough, challenge that belief by listing your strengths, your achievements, and the compliments you've received. If you believe you can't do something, challenge it by finding examples of others who have done it, or simply by trying it yourself. If you believe you don't deserve something, challenge it by recognizing your own worth and by daring to want it. By removing limiting beliefs from your life, you unlock your potential, your happiness, and your capacity for success. You will overcome your fears, your doubts, and the obstacles standing in your way. And you will grow, change, and flourish in ways you never thought possible. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Perfectionism. Perfectionism is the tendency to set unrealistically high standards for yourself or others, and to be excessively critical of any flaw or mistake. It can be rooted in fear, insecurity, or pride, and its consequences can be severe: procrastination, anxiety, depression, and burnout. To remove perfectionism from your life, start by accepting yourself and others as you are, with both strengths and weaknesses. Acknowledge that nobody is perfect, and that perfection is not a prerequisite for success or happiness. Instead of focusing on flaws or shortcomings, focus on progress and achievement. Instead of comparing yourself or others to unrealistic ideals, compare yourself to who you were before and celebrate how far you've come. Instead of being harsh and judgmental, be gentle and compassionate. Instead of chasing perfection, chase excellence, which means doing the very best you can with what you have. By removing perfectionism from your life, you will be able to enjoy not just the outcome, but the process itself. You will be able to embrace challenges, learn from failures, and grow through feedback. And you will unlock your creativity, your productivity, and your overall well-being. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Be content with what you are and wish not change, nor dread your last day, nor long for it." And that, dear friends, is where we bring this video to a close. I hope you have enjoyed it and taken something valuable away with you. I hope you feel inspired to quietly remove these 15 things from your life and to make room for what truly matters. I hope you feel ready to transform yourself and create the life you have always desired. Remember, you have the power to change your life. You have the power to silence the noise and listen to the voice within. You have the power to follow the wisdom of the Stoics and live in harmony with nature. Thank you for watching this video and for being a part of our Stoic family. I am deeply grateful for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Before you go, please take a moment to share your thoughts about this video. Which of these 15 things do you need to quietly remove from your life? How do you plan to do it? What do you see as the benefits or the challenges? Leave a comment below. I would truly love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends. Be stoic, stay happy,